Internal equity is something that's been around for as long as I've been doing this, which is 20 plus years. And it's something organizations do to try to make sure that they're compensating people in a fair way. What we're seeing now is a real shift in the market from that perspective. And just the way we look at and the way we define internal equity is shifting and changing based on response to how tight the talent market is, right? So the talent market right now is very candidate driven. And we have certain areas within marketing, be it digital, e-commerce, growth marketing, that are in very high demand and are specifically adding a ton of value, right? And so that's where we're looking at the internal equity definition, and many organizations are changing it. So I'll give you an example. We have a client that we've done a lot of work with, placed the CMO, and now we're working on a direct report to her. And she has approximately 8 direct reports. Well, this direct report, it's a B2C company, will be directly responsible for over 30% of the revenue. So if we've got one person that's fundamentally driving with their team 30+% of the revenue of this organization, and they want that piece to grow, then that person's value is different than their peers, right? That person's value is different than other VPs that they're now being compared to from an internal equity perspective. And the challenge you have if this person's fundamentally adding that much value to the organization, you're not going to get top talent if you're trying to stay consistent with other people who aren't adding as much value. And the very simple reason for that is the competition, right? So digital marketing has changed a lot of what we do from a marketing perspective. It's changed drastically in the last 5 years, and the pace of that change is accelerating. And then we look at specific areas of marketing and we say, we've got public relations, you've got brand, you've got direct response, you've got growth marketing if it's in a B2B environment, you've got different things that are trending and growing in a B2C environment. So if I've got a VP of digital, a VP of demand gen, you can make the case that that person is adding more value than their peers because of the results they're driving, and specifically the revenue that's coming into the organization as a result of their efforts. So if their efforts are adding more value, then organizations are now saying their compensation should be aligned with that. So I don't need to be looking at VP A and VP B and keeping them exactly the same if VP A is fundamentally driving more revenue, driving more results, and driving growth for the organization. What that means for you and your organization, if you're in marketing or if you're in HR and you're still looking at internal equity the way it was looked at 5-10 years ago, where everyone across this band, right? So I've got my salary band, everyone at the VP level needs to be comped within similar fashion. Then organizations that have evolved their thinking on internal equity, and that thinking now includes value-based adjustments to compensation based on what they're adding to the organization, you're going to lose top talent to organizations that are willing to make those adjustments.